It is Monday, and that means it is time to go into the mailbag to answer your questions. This week, we're talking about the Invisible Woman, the Thing, Namor, and a lot more, guys. It's gonna be a fun one. Before we get into this video, though, I do want to mention the sponsor of this video, ClanHQ. What is ClanHQ, you may ask? Well, it is a brand new, fully featured messaging app, and it is free right now on the Android and iOS stores. It has all kind of features that can integrate with over 75 different games, including Marvel Strike Force. You have a fully featured chat with stickers, GIFs, photos, badges, and more. You have a notification setting so that you can tag people and see everyone that reads your messages. You can store your game data right in the app, so anyone that wants to check out your entire roster, they can do it with just a click of a button. And that's really valuable, guys, if you're an alliance leader or you are someone that is looking for an alliance. Yes, you could find it all right within ClanHQ. You could find the perfect match with just a few clicks. And because the game data is integrated with the app itself, you could show off things like your total collection power, your strongest team power, and you could show it off to anyone that wants it right in the app itself. So if you want to learn more about ClanHQ, check out the link in the description. They're adding new features all the time, guys. It's really good stuff. And if you want to be one of the first to use it, make sure you check it out. So check out ClanHQ, guys. And this Friday, August 16th, I'm doing an AMA on ClanHQ. So get the app, guys, and come hang out with me. ClanHQ is also sponsoring a bunch of gift cards during that AMA, starting at 6 p.m. Pacific time, going for about a half hour or so. So check it out, guys. Come hang out. I look forward to talking with you guys. Now, if you guys are ready to get some of your questions answered, let's go smash it.
ValleyFlyin.
Hey, what's up, Valley Maniacs? ValleyFlyin here. I am back. Welcome to the channel. In this video, it is Monday. I am going into the mailbag channel on the Discord server to answer your questions about Marvel Strike Force and any other things related to this channel. Yes. So we're going to do that. Make sure if you're not on Discord, you check out the link in the description first, though. Patreon, there's a link there if you want to support the channel. There's also a link for Valley merch if you want to support the channel, plus a link to my favorite emulator, BlueStacks. Yes, you can play Marvel Strike Force on your PC for free. Plus, you can support the channel. It's a win-win for everybody. But let's get into these questions, guys. First question, how will Namor be released? Blitz or some other method? Now, we did get an in-game notification last week that Namor is coming. Did not get a release method, though. Nothing I've seen in the data mines or any of the rumors flying around. If it were my guess, I would probably pick Blitz, just based on, it seems like that's FoxNext's favorite method to release new characters. Although, with that said, with FoxNext, there is no precedent. But if I had to make a prediction on this, I would pick Blitz. All right, so next question. What tune should I invest my orange gear on from Enter the Darkness the best helped in Fear the Darkness? And man, you guys are awesome. You guys already responded to this before I did. And this answer actually comes on the server from Magic here. So when running the second time through, he suggests Minerva, Star-Lord, and Groot, saying that they're essential. Now, I do like them. They are my favorite three, and then the other two kind of are up in the air, but those are my favorite three. But I wouldn't say Groot is essential because Jessica Jones also fills that spot of the Dispel well as well. Plus, she could give energy. So Groot, I wouldn't say is essential, but I do like him slightly better than Jessica Jones because that is the character that I took in. He does a lot of things. Rocket is great for synergy. I would also agree with that. I brought Rocket in, and I think he did a very good job in Fear the Darkness. Not a big damage dealer like you would expect for the raids, but his synergy with Groot is just so good. You open with Rocket special, Groot taunts, Groot maybe dies and gives buffs to everybody, and Minerva brings him back to life. It's just a good combo right there. As for the fifth spot, I brought Fury, and he mentions Fury right here. Captain America is also good. We could also go with shield security. Even without Fury is not a bad choice, but I do like Captain America right here. He gives that defense up. He gives the taunt, so he takes some damage away from some of your other characters. Plus, he could give energy to kind of sustain Minerva with her ultimate going off all the time, because that's going to be your best damage dealing and healing move all rolled into one. Skip champs like Pyro or Brotherhood because you can't get past the Deadpool note. Now, he will make it hard for those Deadpool nodes, but they will do very well in the other nodes that don't have Deadpool. So not the worst choice just for those other nodes, but you may want to start building up a 6th if you bring one of those characters just so you can get past those Deadpool nodes. Makes it very hard. I've also heard Quake is another good character besides Shield Security. And if you've got the pieces, why not go Captain Marvel? Definitely want to save them for Ultron, but if you got extra and could do 2 characters, Captain Marvel's not a bad choice for this mode as well. Next question, what is a decent number of red stars to have a tune at? I would say 4. Anything above that, you might want to seriously consider building them just to base a team around them. 5 gets a little iffy, but if the character is good enough, you might get by with 5. But 6 or 7 stars, if you get that on a really good character, it might be worth it just to shift your whole character building strategy around those 2 characters. But yeah, 4 stars I say gives them to a decent level. Next question, will there be another Star-Lord event next week? Actually, the data might suggest this week. This Friday looks like a Star-Lord event is coming. Will Shuri come back before Phoenix? I have no idea. Your guess is as good as mine. But if there is some truth to that rumor about legendary characters being required for Invisible Woman, it makes sense that they bring her back the following week after Star-Lord. So having a bunch of these legendary characters back to back to back, I like it. I think it's a good move. Did Fox get the memo to decide to run legendary characters events more frequently? Maybe, or it could just be that rumor, or just some interesting timing as far as that goes. So I do think they've been needing to bring these legendary events back quicker than they have been. So I'm glad they are back. We'll see what happens with that. I'm not sure exactly what this all means, if anything. Our next question, ValleyFlyin, do you recommend a specific arena offense team to beat Ultron, Star-Lord, Minerva, Rocket, Groot on defense? Yes, I do, but that team will have Ultron and Phoenix in it as well. And in my opinion, this is the best arena team. There's other arena teams out there that are very good. I just haven't used them. So this is what I think is the best. Falcon, because of his speed up, he gives to the whole team. Ultron, because he's Ultron. Captain Marvel for her early turn burst, and I've got her built to the most that I could possibly have her built right now based on her red and yellow stars. And sometimes she could take out in one of the team members from the opponents on turn 1. So that's always a good thing, especially if you're taking out a Rocket or a Minerva or a Pyra, one of those squishy characters that can be really good. Phoenix you obviously want on there, and you want some protection as well, and pairing Colossus with Phoenix is pretty much the way to go when you're looking for a tank. So I think this is the best team. Next question, who will be required to unlock Invisible Woman? Who knows? It's all rumors at this point, guys. I've heard rumors of legendary characters. I've heard rumors of Sinister Six. I've heard all kind of rumors of all kind of other combinations of tags that form 5 characters. I don't know. Your guess is probably as good as mine on this one, but I hope it's not too painful when they finally release the details. Next question. Can you explain how the new Alliance demotion system works? We have an inactive leader and we'd like to demote and replace him. So this is an interesting question, and I think this is really a good reason why they added this feature in the last update, because when there's these crazy Alliance leaders that just leave and don't play the game and aren't respectful enough about their alliance to promote someone or do anything in that time, that's where this comes into play. So we actually got an answer for this on the server as well, and I'm just going to read that in case anybody is having this question as well. But basically, you could set a time limit for inactive players, and when they go past it, it's an auto boot. So 3 days, 7 days, 14 days. There's a few options there, but whatever you set it to, if they are not logging in at that time, they're going to get kicked. Now, if it's a leader, it looks like the leader gets demoted to captain, and if it gets a captain, they get demoted to member. So for a leader to get demoted, it would be whatever the time set is times 3 from what this appears. Now, I haven't tried this out firsthand because I'm not involved in any of the Alliance leadership stuff. I don't want to be, so I haven't tried this out firsthand, but this does jive in line with the way I understand this. So yeah, Lunesta, thank you for the tip on this one. Next question, better Fear the Darkness combo, Mags and Jugs or Fury and Security? I would go Fury and Security just because they have least amount of cooldowns. Juggernaut has high cooldowns on his big skills. Magneto has some high cooldowns on his big skills. So I would go for Fury and Security, although I have heard of people running Magneto and Juggernaut as a combo in Fear the Darkness and doing pretty well. But I guess the real answer for you would be, who do you have closest to those gears? Who do you have the uniques for? I would probably just go in with that team first, because yeah, those uniques are so hard to come by. Why wait? If you have the uniques, just put it on the character and go in, and you could build up an ideal squad later. Our next question, I'm working on Minerva, Groot, Nick Fury, and Star-Lord for Fear the Darkness. What would be the best character for this for Captain America or Shield Security? They're both good, actually. They're both good choices. Shield Security has that synergy with Nick Fury, makes him an awesome tank. He has that auto taunt. And then Captain America, he could give out defense up, he could give out energy, and he has a taunt to mitigate some of that damage. So both of them are very good choices. And I guess my answer would be dependent on where you have them as far as their uniques and their gear. Go with whoever you can build up first to that gear 13, and they're gonna both be good. So either one, whoever you get the gear for first is my answer. Our next question, for someone that's been playing for a while but does not have all the synergy teams leveled, which would you say your top 7 or 8 that should be leveled up? And we got a piggyback question on here. What are the best synergy teams to focus on as a free-to-play player? So very similar question here. So let's go back in game. We'll take a look at my save squads. These are my save squads. Now, if I had to pick one team that I think you should focus on, this would probably be my top team. The BKE, BKT, whatever you want to call this team, whatever this team's name is, this is the team I would build up. Great for Fear of the Darkness, great for the raids, and yeah, build them up. The only problem is this is not necessarily a free-to-play friendly team. Not a reliable way to get Thanos, not a reliable way to get Minerva. These other characters, you can get them, but Star-Lord is a legendary character. It's going to take some time. But I would focus on this one if you have some shards for Thanos and have him unlocked, and have some shards for Minerva, have her unlocked. Also want to focus on Shield. Free-to-play friendly, it does take a while to get them as a free-to-play player, but most well-rounded team in the game. So definitely want to work on Shield at some point. Definitely want to work on Brotherhood at some point as well, because this is the Shield killer. Do very well in war. Depending on your shard, they could do well in offense, in arena as well, but very strong team. You have an Ultron team. So Ultron is a free-to-play character. You can eventually get him free-to-play. It's going to take a while though. But yeah, you definitely should work on an Ultron team. Who should you place on him? I've placed some characters that don't really have a home, that have some decent power levels. He could win with a lot of different teams though. It depends on your opponent in some cases, especially at 8.3. But I like this lineup that I used for Ultron, but there's a lot of different lineups that work with him. So an Ultron team, I'll definitely work on building that up. A Hero Brawler team. Now, I have Captain Marvel in this spot right here, and she's going to be a little harder to farm for newer players. If you have been playing for a while her event was going out, you probably should have her unlocked at this point. America Chavez is going to be a little harder to farm as well, but the rest of these guys are very farmable, very easy to get if you put in the time. But this is a squad that I would recommend. Very fun squad, and Captain Marvel is just a beast in war. Not recommending this squad. X-Men are very good, so build them up. Colossus and Psylocke are a little harder for free-to-play players. But, and then you got a legendary character as well, so this is not the most free-to-play friendly squad. Defenders, very, very free-to-play friendly. Definitely get them. They're not going to be the top team in any game mode, but they're going to be decent in all the game modes. Power Armor, very, very good squad. Not the most free-to-play friendly. Vision, he's hard to farm if you haven't been playing for a while and don't have that roster to get to the Mystic node. He's not farmable. Neither is she. So this is not the most free-to-play friendly squad. This is actually a good squad. Now, this would not be in my top 7 or 8 teams, but these guys are all farmable. Some of them not very easily farmable, but eventually you will farm these guys. The Blind team, and I think this team does very well. And that is it. That is who I would focus on right now. And then, yeah, I don't know if you want to do Spider-Verse or Kree to help you unlock that Fury squad. You might want to focus on this one as well, just kind of as a backup, but at least get the stars on him so you could get, or on them, so you could get Fury. So those are the squads that I like, and I think you should be building up. Next question, ValleyFlyin, following your channel from Hamburg, Germany. Thank you, brother. My question is, which characters would you love to see in an Asgardian team? Cheers. All right, so we're talking about Asgardian. We got Thor and Loki in the game. Sif. I want Sif in the game. Lady Sif, I think, should be my most requested Asgardian character, at least for me. And then we got a bunch of other characters that I want to see in the game eventually. Odin, Heimdall, Hela, Scourge, I think would be good. Valkyrie, I think would be good in this game. So from those 5, the remaining 2, I think I would go Hela and I would go Odin. Those would be my other 2. So Sif, Odin, and Hela. That's who I picked. Our next question, I think this would be good for both new and veteran players. When should you focus on shards or gear? Should it be a mix of both, equal division, or should the release schedule dictate how you farm? So what I did in the beginning, when I was a newer player, I would focus on the shards. Because it doesn't take a lot of thought to put in to shards, you just click on it, autoplay it, and you'll get some shards for the character, or you might not, but you'll at least get a chance to get shards for that character. And that is what I did for a long time, and I think that helps with building your roster, focusing on that width of your roster, getting a lot of characters, and building up their star level so you could unlock some legendary characters, unlock certain events as well. With that said, when War came around, when Fear the Darkness came around, I struggled a lot because my teams, while they had the stars, they were not very strong. I had to put the gear on these guys to really build them up and make it so that they could tackle some of the more tougher modes in the game. And once I did that, a lot of these modes weren't necessarily easy, but I was able to get through them a lot more. So gear is very important if you want your character strong in order to get through some of these some of the content in the game. And the stars are important if you want to build your roster, make it more viable for unlocking legendary characters and getting into these events. Now, as far as these legendary characters and these events, should this dictate how you farm? For the normal events like Payday and the Block Party, I don't. I just build them up, and when the stars come, and I'll go in and try to tackle whatever, the hardest node that I can. Same thing is for the daily challenges. Once I get those characters, I'll go in and beat that stuff, but I'm not really focusing on that, or I haven't really focused on that in the past. Now, as far as the legendary characters go, though, yeah, I'm gonna try to unlock them. So I'm gonna spend cores to refresh nodes. I might buy packs. I want to get these legendary characters at least unlocked. After that, when the stars come, they come. But I want to at least make sure that I could unlock the legendary characters and I can start building them up and putting them into a team. So that's kind of my answer. That's kind of how I did things and what I've noticed with the way that I've done things in this game. Next question. Will Fox next find a replacement for Wolverine as the free hero? I hope so. I hope it replaces soon and finds a new way for newer players to get Wolverine. Our next question, is there a reason Red Skull hasn't been released for Hydra as a playable character? And what kind of impact would he make for the Hydra team? Would he make Hydra relevant? So I'm not sure why he hasn't been released, but my assumption is they just think that these other characters will make them more money from a marketing standpoint. His kit, when it first came out, it was really good, but I think a lot of the other characters have kind of passed him by and makes his kit a little obsolete. So no, I don't think he's going to make Hydra relevant if he's released in his current state and with Hydra released in their current state. But I am hoping that they get a rework before he is released. All right, next question. Rumor is there will be a monthly premium subscription for the game that isn't too far away. Well, actually, it's not a rumor. It was talked about by Fox Next a while back. They pushed it back. It hasn't ever been released yet. So I know at one point it was in their plans. Who knows if it's going to be released? But from what I saw in the data mines, it looks like it was an energy subscription. And I think the cost was around $10 or something. I don't remember exactly. That could be off. But my thing is the cost needs to be less than what it would be to buy the same amount of cores to buy that energy if this is a subscription. So as long as that is coming into play, I think this would be a good deal. And if you're someone that spends money on the game, it might be worth looking into if it ever comes out. Next question, what are your first thoughts on the Thing? Kind of boring, he's kind of bland. His kit is single target damage, single target damage, single target damage, done in a few different ways. He has a counter attack when he's attacked. He gives the Fantastic Four some boost, but I'm really hoping that the Invisible Woman's kit will round him out and make him a great character, or at least a good character, because right now, he's not that bad. His stats kind of make up for his lack of kit, but yeah, as far as right now, his kit is not very exciting to me. Next question, what is the best legendary character? So for me, there's two groups. There's the Shuri and Iron Man group who are in the lower tier, the good characters, but not great characters. And then there are 4 characters that are great. Phoenix, Magneto, Fury, and Star-Lord. Now, the answer to this question, I guess it will be depending on how you define best. So what is the best? Is it the best characters that will make the best arena squad? Is it the characters that's going to round out and make the best overall team in the game? Or is this a character that you're going to use a lot? And I'm going to use that definition. So the character that I use the most out of all those characters is Star-Lord. So I'm going to pick Star-Lord based on that definition of best. All right, next question. When you do Whale Wars, are you paying for the orbs, saving them from your logins, or compensated by sponsored by Casino? So I've done 4 Whale Wars at the time of this recording. 2 of them were totally from saved orbs. 1 of them was totally from paid orbs, and that only reason I did that was because I felt bad that I was missing the footage for one of his videos. So I said, you know what, let's do another one. I'll just buy all the orbs, and that's why we did one. And then the other one was kind of a combination of the 2, and never been compensated or sponsored by Casino for the Whale Wars that I've done. But he's helped me out with a lot of videos, so yeah, I don't mind helping him from time to time. All right, so I see you're doing top 10 free-to-play characters list from time to time. I'd like to see your opinion on a top 10 most underrated characters and why. So this probably could be a question for a whole nother video. We got another request for an underrated tunes video as well, so I might do that as a whole nother video. But just so I don't ignore your question, I'll give you 2. Because I did a video a while back on the tunes that I think are underrated, and it went for a while, and I don't think I picked 10. So if I were to pick 2, number 1, Ant-Man. I talked about him in that previous video, but the reason I like him, I think he is a very solid kit, one of the better kits in the game. His problem is his stats. His base stats don't really match up and make full use of that kit. His damage is a little low. He could be a little faster to go in front of a few tunes. But Ant-Man, I think, is underrated. If there was some way to boost his stats up a little bit, maybe ISO 8s or something, he'll be a very good character. And Hawkeye. Now, I know a lot of people don't think he's a bad character, but there are a lot of people that just hate on Hawkeye. So I think he is underrated. He has a big AoE that can blind his opponents. The main reason that that's not that great of a skill nowadays is it comes later in the match. It doesn't come on turn 1 or turn 2. Normally it will come on turn 3. So that's probably the knock against that move, but it is still a very good move. He's got a big dispel on his special move, which is very good. And, you know, you can't blind him, so he's going to be hitting characters. So I think Hawkeye is an underrated character, and so is Ant-Man. But yeah, as far as a 10, I probably could do a whole new video on that, so stay tuned for that. I might make another one on the underrated characters as well. Next question, ValleyFlyin, what's your real name? How good do you think Captain Marvel really is? Real name is Paul, and Captain Marvel is all that she's hyped up to be. Very, very good character. One of the best characters in the game, especially for war defense. Oh my goodness. Next question, who's a good substitute for Colossus as a tank / support for Phoenix? So let's go check out some of the protector tunes in the game right now. And if we look at the protectors, Colossus goes very, very well with Phoenix. Juggernaut will go very well with Magneto. And Shield Security will go very well with Nick Fury. So I'm going to take them out, leave them out of the equation. Probably going to leave M'Baku out as well. Not that I think he would be a good replacement, but he goes with Shuri. So who are we left with that I think is good? Captain America is a good standalone tank. And if you don't have him on a team and you don't have anybody to really protect Phoenix, that might be one way to go. I've already talked about him giving out energy, giving out defense up, so he's not that bad of a character. Drax can be a little annoying. This will depend on your opponent, though. But he's got that turn 1 taunt, pre-taunt, actually. So Drax is always an option. And if you've got him beefy enough, he's going to take some hits for your team. He's got another taunt on turn 2 as well. And then we have Thanos. Thanos has the taunt that is very hard to get rid of. except if your name is Jessica Jones or Hand Archer. Thanos' taunt is gonna be hard to get around, so he will help to keep Phoenix alive if your opponents that don't have a way to get around that taunt. He's also got an AoE that he recovers some damage, some health, not damage, so decent tank. And then kind of a sleeper here as like an honorable mention. I gotta talk about Rhino because of his ability to remove the blinds from the team. So if you're going up against Brotherhood with your X-Men team, Rhino could be a good addition as well if you got the red stars and gold stars to really back him up. If you don't, you probably want to go with one of these other characters that you have more stars on. Next question, when will we have a superior unique for Deadpool's Gear 13? I have no idea. Right now, he's the only character that you can't get to Gear 13, and I'm not sure what the logic is behind holding this back. All of the new characters have the ability to get up to Gear 13. I'm not sure why Deadpool doesn't. Maybe because they thought he would be too strong of a character in Fear the Darkness. I don't know, but they definitely should release his Gear 13, or just not make it a unique one. Make it one that's already in the game, because you got a lot of superior unique parts, and I wouldn't want to see more added. So hopefully soon for Deadpool. Next question. Are there any characters worth using in Raid, Blitz, Arena that even if they don't have red stars? It seems general to waste up a slot for a non-red star character. I personally have 0 red stars on Thanos, and it doesn't seem worth it. So what you gotta look at is their total stats. So, you know, 1, 2, 3 stars on a character, not gonna make that much of a difference. You could get their stats up with gold stars if they're farmable. You could get it up with red stars if you get lucky with it. But if you don't get the red stars on these characters, you can always gear them up and get their levels up as well to kind of match the rest of your squads, or match who you're going up against in Arena or the raids. And as far as Blitz is kind of easy. Just make sure that whole squad is around the same level, and that'll help you. But so the short answer to this question, yes, still build up those characters even if you don't have red stars on it. All right, guys, and that is it for this week's Mailbag Monday. I hope your question made the list. If not, make sure you reach out to me, and I will try to answer it in a future mailbag question, or maybe just answer you right away, depending on where you reach out to me on. Make sure you check out the links down below, guys. Patreon, BlueStacks, Valley Merch, and of course, ClanHQ. And I will see you guys next time. Hulk fist bump, ValleyFlyin, out.